Good evening from Europe. Anyway, welcome to today's Yin Yoga session. Today's class, this week's theme is all about yoga and the breath. So on Monday in our Yin Yang session, we were moving with the breath, something that makes yoga yoga and not gymnastics, actually. And yoga is extremely, the breath is extremely important in yoga, in all forms of yoga. So for example, it can help us come into the present, as we would in mindfulness, because the breath is always with us and always in the now. So that can anchor us in the present moment. It's also excellent for, particularly if you slow down, for activating the rest and digest element of the nervous system, bringing the blood pressure down and calming us. Just a few things on why it's very useful to practice yoga with the breath. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do two different types of pranayama. So pranayama, sorry, I just want to make sure that I'm live. So pranayama is basically a type of breathing exercise, but the idea is to notice the movement of prana or chi or energy in the body. I'm sorry, I'm just checking. Yes, there I am. Sorry. So what we're going to do is two different types of pranayama, two different types of breathing exercises. First is what we call a yang pranayama, and the second is what we call a yin. So the first one is going to be more, making more effort, ultimately, active, and the second is going to be yin, which is passive, noticing, being receptive. So for both of them, we're going to just bring our attention to the heart space or the heart chakra, or just in a physical sense, this area here. And I want you to find your seated position, and then we can begin. But just spend a few moments getting comfortable. And closing your eyes. And to start with the yang pranayama, what we're going to do is bring our attention to the area of the heart. Then we're going to breathe in. We're going to hold in the heart space, and then we're going to breathe out. So you can choose your own time. So you might want to do 2, 2, 2, 4, 4, 4, 6, 6, 6, whatever it is that you would prefer, but it should be the same for each of those stages. So first of all, bring your attention to the area of the heart. And just notice any sensations that you can feel there. So you can feel perhaps the clothes against the skin. Notice if it's warm there or if it's cool. Perhaps sensing any tension in this part of the body. And any sensations like tickling perhaps, or tingling. And then breathe out completely. And then you're in your own time, you're breathing in through the nose, for whatever count you wish to do this for. And then holding for the same amount of time, holding it in that area, and then breathing out for the same amount of time. And if you're not sure what count to do, then perhaps start with 2, And if you feel you want to go longer, then go longer. But it's not a competition. It's just an equal amount of time in the breath in, the hold, and the breath out. Noticing the movement of the body with the breath, how the shoulders rise, how the chest expands, and how they drop and the chest goes down as you breathe out. Keeping your attention on the area of the heart, keeping the in-breath, the hold, and the out-breath equal. And then after the next out-breath, then just let go, but keep your attention on the same area. And allow your breath to go back to normal. But continuing to keep a light attention on the area of the heart, but this time without making any active effort with the breath. One of the goals of pranayama also, just breathing exercises in general, particularly with a focus on the out-breath, is to calm the system, to calm the breath, and therefore to calm the mind. So just notice now the quality of the breath in this Yin Pranayama, which is passive and receptive compared to what we were doing before. And after the next out-breath, then just let go of your attention in that particular area and let it become more general. Just noticing, sensing yourself being here. In this space. Ready to move on to our Yin practice. And we will come back to that pranayama as well. We're going to start with a little bit of yang. So if you want to open your eyes and make your way onto your hands and knees. So a bit of yang, because we've all been sitting down all day, I imagine, or most of us. So first of all, we're just going to do a couple of cat-cows. So this time a bit more of a yang breath, but not too strong. So as you breathe in, arch the spine. As you breathe out, curve the spine, pushing into the hands. Breathe in, arch. Breathe out, curve. Breathe in, arch. Breathe out, curve. Breathe in, arch. Breathe out, curve the spine. And then just go back to neutral. This time we're going to bring the leg into it. So as you breathe in, you can do this in your own time, but basically what we're going to do is we're going to bend the right leg, we're going to push it up at the back here, then we're going to open it out to the side, and then bring it up towards the nose, and then back out again. So kind of like a dog peeing on a lamppost. But we are arching and curving the spine still, as well as rotating the hip. And then go the opposite direction. So this time you're bringing it towards the nose, knee bend, curving the spine out to the side and round the back. So we're circling in this hip joint. Keep it with the breath, however you wish to do that. And then we're coming back to the center. Let's do it to the other side. So bending the knee and then bringing it out to the side and round, circling it back, round, towards the nose, up, round, back towards the nose, curving the spine, and then going the opposite direction. So basically we're circling the leg in the hip joint with the breath, and also there's a bit of a curve and an arch in the spine as we're doing this as well. So just a little bit of yang before we start the yin. So what we're going to do first is we're going to move into frog position. So your knees are bent, separate the knees. Our target area here is we want to feel a mild to moderate stretch on the inside thighs. So fold forward so you can feel that stretch. But what we're going to do is we're also going to add a stretch in the arms as well. So I want you to palm facing up to start with, to thread the left arm underneath the right and then drop down. So this top part, what we want to feel is a stretch in the back of the left arm going into the shoulder. Not too much, but we do want to feel it. With this top arm, you can put it wherever you want to either accentuate or diminish the stretch. So you can try putting it maybe forwards, to the side. It can be bent, it can be straight. Or your other option is to put it behind your back, so you've got a bit of a twist. So play with this top arm, and we're going to stay here for 2 minutes. You can also play with the position of the knees to get that stretch on the inside thighs that is just right for you. Don't overdo it. And then allow yourself to relax into the pose. Now this is where the breath comes in again. And first of all, I'd like you to notice the quality of the breath. It should be natural. If it's not natural,
you've gone too far. You're pushing yourself, and that's not yin. So if that's the case, then you need to adjust the body. So move the position of the arms, maybe bringing it a bit further in, for example, if there's too much stretch on that left arm, or changing the position of the top arm if you need to. We've got about another minute here. But again, bring your attention to your breath. Is it natural? Then bring your attention to the body. Have I got a stretch here? That's nice, but not too much. Always check in. And enjoy it. Okay, so that's 2 minutes up. So we're going to move to the other side. So wherever that top arm is, bring it down. And then we're going to move directly to the other side. I'm just going to go this way so that you can see. So staying with the legs as they were before. Sorry, I shouldn't have moved mine. This time we are going to take the right arm underneath. So we're pushing the arm out to the point where we're getting that nice stretch. And with the top arm, as you said, you can put it, as I said, you can put it wherever you like, in front, to the side, behind your back. If it's too much stretch on this right arm, bring it back in. Or maybe even bend the elbow. If you're finding there's a pinching in the front of the shoulder, then I would recommend also moving the position, the placing of this arm, bringing it down, bringing it up. You do not want a pinching in the front of the shoulder. Notice your breath. Is it natural? Keep the body passive. Allow it to drop into these yin poses naturally without pushing. Keep your attention on the body. Keep your attention today also on the breath. The two are intrinsically connected. If the breath is shallow or fast, or you're panting, if it's not natural, then something's not right. And that is true of anything, in any situation. So 2 minutes is up on this side. We're going to come up, close the knees, and then just fold forward into a child's pose. You can put the arms wherever you like, but we want to rest the arms and the shoulders here. So you might want to bend the elbows, for example, and just rest the arms on the floor or by the sides. And just allow the body to relax here and take in the effects of that first pose that we did. attention to the areas that we just stimulated, in the same way to how we brought our attention to the breath, to the heart area in the pranayama at the start. For the next one, I'm going to give you a couple of options, but I'd like you to make your way into a lying position, lying down on your front. So if you enjoyed this stretch there on the backs of the arms and the shoulders, or perhaps if you felt that you weren't actually really getting much in that first pose, then you can choose this option. But for everybody, we're going to go into Sphinx. So definitely we want to be up on the elbows so that we have this compression in the back. If you're finding that the compression is too much, then by all means bring the elbows a bit further forward so you drop down a bit more, and also play with the position of the legs. Opening the legs can stop a pinching in the lower back. So if you're happy here, if this is working for you, then stay here. If you want to go up a bit higher, then by all means go up on the hands if you want to, or if that's too high, put something underneath the elbows like a block or a cushion or something like that. And then resolve to stay here. We're going to be here for around 4 minutes. For anybody who would like more stretch in the back of the shoulders, then we're going to do eagle arms. It's going to be a little bit awkward, but we can do it. So basically from here, you cross the right arm over the left arm, bend the elbows with them on the floor, and then bring the hands together or hold on to the wrist, or if they don't reach, that's fine. We're just looking for a bit of a stretch in the back shoulders. Now, if you want more, you can bring the elbows a bit further forward to get that stretch. And another option is to go a bit higher up, so putting the elbows on a block. As I said, it is a little bit awkward, a block or anything, but that brings you up a bit higher. If you want more compression in your lower back, bend your knees. Again, playing with the position of the legs. So we're going to be here with the arms for around 1.5 minutes. Make sure you've adjusted the pose so that it suits you, and close your eyes. And relax the shoulders, the back, the bum. And I want to come back to that Yin Pranayama that we were doing at the beginning. But instead of doing it in the heart area, I'd like you to do it in the area that you are feeling the strongest sensations in now. So for me, it's the back of my right arm. So in the same way as we did at the beginning, bring your attention to that space. Noticing how it feels there. And feel or imagine as if you are breathing from that place, in that place, but a normal, natural breath. And if at any point, whatever variation of this pose you're in, it feels like it's too much, then just come down and lie down on your front or on your back. Or if you feel at any point like actually you'd like a bit more, then by all means go up a bit higher, but don't overdo it. And for those of you in eagle arms, what we're going to do is we're just going to stay up, but just place the elbows on the floor just for a couple of moments before we go to the other side. Just noticing the right arm and the left arm, maybe the right arm and the left shoulder, see how they feel. And then we're going to go to the other side, awkwardly. So left arm over right arm, bend the elbows, and then either hold on to the wrists or the hands or just close by is fine. If you're doing this at home, I was going to say, if you do this by yourself, you can hold on to something as well. If you want that grip, you can use a sock. Play with the position of the elbows again. Find where works best for you, on the floor or on a block. And we're going to stay here again for another minute and a half. Maybe completely different on this side. Bring your attention to the area where you're feeling the strongest sensation. Bring your breath there. Send your breath to that area. Okay, so then we're all going to come out. So if you've got the arms crossed, then uncross the arms if you haven't. Everybody, bring your feet down if they're in the air. And everybody come down to lie on your front. We're going to do Shavasana, but we're going to do it lying on our fronts. So get comfortable where you are. You can put the head to the side if you want, or the forehead on the floor. The hands you can put in a kind of cactus arms or down by your sides. You find what's most comfortable for you. And for the last couple of minutes, we're just going to lie here and take in the effects of those poses and the pranayama. And in a minute or so, I'm going to ring the bell as usual, but what I'd like you to do today is as soon as you hear the bell, I want you to count how many breaths until I ring the bell again. Normal, natural breaths. Just count from the first bell until the second bell. Stay where you are and count. Don't move yet. And then in your own time, just slowly, slowly make your way back up to a seated position. And then when you're here, just close your eyes. Notice any effect that this has had. Particularly noticing your breath. And then bring your arms out to the sides. Up in the air, palms together. Down in front of the face. Down, back again, once more to the heart. Breathe in and release the breath. Namaste. I will tell you why I was asking you to count the breath. I would like you, can you just right underneath this video when you're finished, just put how many breaths you had in that time, which was 1 minute. The average, normal, everyday number of breaths is 16 to 18. So I'm hoping that what's happened is that your breath has slowed down, you've calmed your nervous system, you've regulated the oxygen, brought down the blood pressure, etc., etc. I'm hoping that's happened, but everybody who watches this video live or later on, can you just right underneath the video, just put the number, just so I can see. I would be interested to know that. So thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this, I hope you did. Tomorrow evening I will be doing a much longer, more in-depth Yin Yoga class via Zoom on the breath also. And this is a really great opportunity to join me for a longer session, and being on Zoom I can see you and I can give you individualized suggestions as well based on your body. So if you're interested in that, just check my events page. Otherwise I hope to see you next week. I hope to see you next week or tomorrow.
Thank you.